Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. Good to be back. It is Monday. We've had a weekend. Everybody's had a long weekend, big weekend. But we're here today, which is nice. Nice to see everybody. My name is Dean. And it's cold today. Cold in the beautiful city of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Welcome to the program from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Lachlan Cross, 957 Cruise up Edmonton.
Thank you for having me.
Mr. Lachlan Cross at Lachlan Cross on Twitter for now, while Twitter's still up. Ryan Lindley from the Lynn's Report podcast, which you can download and subscribe at Ryan Lindley on Twitter. Nice to see you both. How are you? How was the weekend? Nice weekend, gents?
Very productive. Good weekend. Yeah, it was. I was sick going into it, but rallied and still a little congesty, but better.
I actually have reached a point, not that you guys give two flying shits, but I've reached a point where I actually have time on my hands now. Like I was watching. You know what I was watching? Because like the house is not completely 100, but we feel settled now, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not go, do this. So on Sunday, like my wife went out and did
Wiping your ass with
Christmas
paper towels because you
shopping.
can't find the toilet paper yet.
Yeah, and then none of that. I know where that is. But I was watching that Welcome to Wrexham. Because I was at a Christmas party on Saturday night, like a little Christmas shindig gathering, and this guy that I was chatting with was telling me he's not even a soccer fan. He goes, it's just a brilliant series. It's about Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney.
Yep.
From Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the story. They bought that soccer team.
And it's like a fourth division professional soccer team in Wrexham, the oldest professional soccer team in England.
Yeah. I haven't seen it yet.
Unbelievable.
Isn't it awesome?
It's so good. They did such a good job on it. They're talking to the locals. I don't know how to explain it. It's just such a fascinating story. I think that's part of it. Like, why are these two Americans buying a soccer club? They weren't even into soccer. Like it's crazy. It really is. It's such a good.
I can answer that actually, because these guys have hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank that we don't. So they decided that they wanted to buy a soccer team. Well, because they wanted to tell a story about the team, right? Like that was why they bought it. And if you've watched it, or if you've heard Ryan Reynolds or Rob McElhenney talk about it, it's fascinating because what they do is it's like they want to tell a story about this team, right? So they get the rights to this team, they get the rights to the story, then they go and actually splash out and buy the land. So they own the land now, and they employ people, and they want to turn the oldest soccer club in all of England into this incredible story. And then they want to tell the story. So they bought the club, parlayed that into a Netflix special, which they got paid hundreds of
Disney
millions.
Plus, I think it's
Is
I'm
it
watching
Disney Plus?
it on FX.
Is it on Disney?
I think so. Yeah.
So they sell the streaming rights to the show, and then they flood that team with a whole bunch of like Aviation Gin, which is a major sponsor. It's a whole shirt.
They're sponsored by Aviation Gin.
So they bring in like a whole bunch of money because it's Ryan Reynolds, Rob McElhenney. Everybody wants to do with it. So then this like fourth division team, the goal is to get it to the first division, the Premiership, right? The goal is
don't say anything more because I'm only like 3 episodes in.
Well,
and they're losing right now.
Yeah, well, good news. There's more seasons for a reason. And they want to get to the Premiership because you can make literally billions of dollars. So this is like a business goal, and they're taking the business, turning it into entertainment because Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney are fucking geniuses.
Brilliant.
Geniuses.
It's brilliant.
It's like your own little ecosystem of funding everything in itself.
It was circular. Yeah.
It was like that documentary that Morgan Spurlock put out about everything getting sponsored. He just wanted somebody to sponsor his movie, to pay for the movie, about how corrupt sponsorships were, and he just kept collecting sponsorships as he was filming the movie. It's the same fucking thing. It's amazing. They're brilliant.
What's the name of that special, Lens? What is it?
I'll find it. I'll find it right now. I can't remember exactly, but I think it was like The Man Who Sold Everything or something.
I'd watch it. You know what I watched this weekend? Same thing.
Like,
Netflix had some extra time. I watched Ancient Apocalypse. Have you guys seen Ancient Apocalypse yet?
No, is that good?
Shake your faith in humanity? You want to piss off the religies? watch Ancient Apocalypse. Basically, it's all true. We
Is that
came from
Netflix?
ancient. Yeah, Atlantis is real.
Okay.
The megaliths that they've been building and finding all over the place. It's fucking we're from ancient people, dude. Like there were ancient civilizations. So I'm watching this thing and I'm like, my mind's being blown.
I think we're from aliens.
Oh no, we're not. I don't think we are. I don't think
It's,
we're
the greatest movie ever sold, by the way, was the Spur one.
Oh, the greatest movie ever sold.
Yeah,
okay, I'll watch it.
Fantastic.
Yeah. It's a big Netflix weekend for me too. Plus, I got to watch the Bills win, which is great. They're 10-3, first in the AFC. Your team, yeah, this is nice. Great weekend for TV. And then on top of it, which I found fascinating, not only did the Bills win, the Oilers, I think, are a bit of a dumpster fire, and the Leafs can't lose. It's been a fucking great run. I've had nothing but great things to watch on television, including watching your Oilers lose, and the Leafs just can't stop winning.
The Oilers won.
I don't think they've lost. Yeah, but they're not as good as the Leafs. Anyway, it's just a great weekend, and you know that, right? You're just playing with our sloppy seconds. There's a reason that we just go, hey, you go to Edmonton. You go to Edmonton. Zach Hyman, you go to Edmonton.
Here's
Campbell,
what you need to know. Here's what you need to know about my excitement about where the Leafs are right now. Because at the beginning of the season, when they couldn't buy a win, which was also fun, but there was this nagging thing at the back of my mind, and I think I've said this before. Oh, if they keep going like this, they're not going to be able to make it to the first round and lose in Game 7.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, will be more enjoyable if they win the division. If they win the division and then they play the worst team to make it into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then lose to that team in the first round in Game 7. That is going to be so spectacular to watch. So you go nuts, Leaf fans.
No, dude, listen, I'm open to both opportunities.
6.
I'm open to both opportunities being exciting for me. Not making the playoffs and losing in the first round or winning. Actually, 3. There are 3 different outcomes for the Toronto Maple Leafs this year. They're a fucking wagon. They can't stop winning, though. That's the difference. Is that we shipped our shit down into Edmonton, and then we signed you guys, and then we rebuilt, and you just got our garbage,
out a lot,
which is nice.
Blocked out a lot of the success in the last little while. What is going on? Is it the defense? They finally woke up?
Not really. I mean, like half their defensive core is toast. They've got 2 world-class goaltending. Goaltending and the forwards are playing defense. That's it. That's all it is. Goaltending and the forwards are playing defense. I think Matt Murray's got a save percentage of like .932. The last 2 games, they've won 4-dick, 5-dick. So they've just skunked the team. Samsonov and Murray both had a couple of shutouts. Samsonov you got 2 guys playing at a Vezina rate, and they're like 1 and 2. It doesn't even matter, really. 1 and 1A. And then down the road in Edmonton, you got Stuart Skinner, AHL goaltender, and Jack Campbell, who's just too sad to play right now.
Is awful.
So
no one's saying it right now, but it's pretty much common knowledge. I mean, the fan base has pretty much established it for them.
Thank God he's a nice guy, too. Thank God he's the nicest person in the world, because otherwise
he cannot play net. And the thing is, what'll happen, and this happens with goaltenders in Edmonton, and again, this is not news to anybody who's lived in Edmonton. Mm-hmm. And there's I can think of 4 or 5 examples off the top of my head right now. What'll end up happening is Soup will have the worst. He'll have the worst year of his career. And then at the end of the season, they'll go, we got to get rid of this guy. He is.
And he'll go light it up for someone else.
Yes.
Then he'll go to Minnesota and he'll stand on his fucking head.
Yeah, he'll Leafs do that all the time too.
He will be he'll basically be a brick wall in another city. There's
a lot of Alexander Steen rule. It's the same thing with the Leafs. Every time the Leafs, remember when Leafs let Alex Steen go? Just went to St. Louis, turned into a Hall of Famer, won a Stanley Cup, no big deal. Yeah. And we do it. It's the same thing here. It's just that we're on a heater and the team's playing well.
There's a goaltender coach here, and every time I bring that complaint up, what's going on here? Why can't goalies play? Everybody brings up this, and I don't know if he's got pictures of the owner with dogs or something. I don't know what's going on, because he seems to be invincible, and he's been here for a long time. You'd think that maybe someone would go,
new goaltending
goalies
coach
can't play here. Maybe we should look at the coaching.
You think? Yeah. That's what they do here. They fire coaches just for existing here, as a matter of fact. So it doesn't even matter if they do the job.
I think that's just to appease the fan base.
Yeah,
more
it's
than
all
anything,
it is.
right?
Yeah.
Well, you guys do have that control over the Leafs. That's also very entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
You guys
If we
get
yell out
so
enough, they'll
loud.
fire everybody. That's the
That's
way
right.
it works here. Speaking of yelling loud enough, can I ask you a
democracy.
question?
Dubas, who's the kid? The 29-year-old kid. That,
no, he's like 35, dude.
Is he? Okay. The 27-year-old running your team right now. I can't believe he's hung in there.
Yeah, me neither. Dude, the Raptors general manager is like 5 years younger than Kyle Dubas. Bobby Webster. He's like 10 years old.
Yeah.
They got like a 12-year-old running the Raptors. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. I was just at his birthday party at the bowling alley. It was great.
Yeah, I had a great time. He has his both those guys had a joint MLSE birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese between Dubas and Bobby Webster.
Oh, that reminds me. I got to go vote on that petting zoo on the Harvard auction. I'm trying to get a petting zoo. They'll bring a donkey over.
What are you talking about? At work, at your day job?
We got Harvard. Okay, so Harvard has an auction, right? And they do it a couple times a year. We have a Christmas happening right now, and it wraps up this afternoon. And I was on there, and this one company they rent out like petting zoos. They'll bring a whole farm over to your house for a kids party, right? And so you phone them and you book it. Yeah, I've got a kids party on January 24th. Can you bring by, and we're having a party.
A couple emus, a goat, and a pig.
Yeah.
It's like a farm pimp. They're like farm pimps.
But you can also just get a donkey. Yeah. You can also just get a pony or whatever the hell it is. It's a little guy, right? And I have been bidding on. There was like 6 of them, and I've been bidding on them like crazy because I want to get one for Jimmy
for a photo shoot.
Randomly
for
show
sure.
up at Jimmy's place, the Den of Sadness, with a pony.
And he can't keep it. It leaves after like an hour. Just to crush his soul. Yeah,
we'll invite all the homeless people from the neighborhood over to ride
horse rides. I would love to be the 911 operator on that street that night. Let's see a bunch of homeless transient people riding a miniature horse down White Mud.
Sir, do you need Narcan? Are you on something right now?
Yeah.
Is that why you're phoning the police?
You okay? Yeah. You all right?
But people keep outbidding me. I think the problem is I was talking about it all week on the show, on the locker room, and I think people were just going on there to be dicks and outbidding me. So now it like literally I had like 3 of them for $25. I'm like, $25 for a pony for an hour? I'm in. Right now it's up to like 70, 80, and I'm like having a hard time wrapping my head around paying $80 to bring I'm too cheap to bring a pony for an hour over to Jimmy's place.
What's the ceiling for where you have to explain it to Deb? What's the price?
Oh, that ship sailed already. She brought it up the other day. She's like, "What? What are you bidding on? Well, I started betting on the petting zoo because the ponies were getting too expensive. Like just an hour pony was getting too much, right? So then I started go for the full petting zoo because that one was only like at $25, and I'm like, well, they'll bring fucking everything over, a goat,
a couple of ducks.
You'd think that the whole petting zoo would be more, but
yeah, I know
it was cheaper for some reason.
Quick question for you, Locke. Before we get started today, we got a lot to get to. We got incredible video of Elon Musk actually bombing at a Dave Chappelle show. It was awesome. We'll get to that in just a couple of seconds.
What's
We'll talk about
Chappelle doing
nuclear
there?
fusion, by the way. Nuclear fusion, everybody. It's on deck. Nuclear fusion. Nuclear fusion. Anyone? Yeah.
Big.
We're going to talk about that.
Big
Also,
news.
Jordan Peterson's doing an Incel stadium tour, by the way, just so you know. So we're going to get into that today. That'll be a lot of fun. But this tweet caught me before we went on the airlock, and I wanted to bring it to your attention. Is it possible for you to, and I'm not telling you how to tweet. I know you hate being told what to do, how to tweet, what the rules are. But could you do yourself and us a favor and not tweet like a fucking 98-year-old man once in a while?
Bitching in a coffee shop.
Let me read this to you. This is Lachlan Cross 57 minutes ago. If you're with Direct Energy, check your bills. Trust me, check your bills. I'm in the middle of filing a complaint with Service Alberta. Switch services when you can. Do not sign with them when they come to your door. First of all, you got to stop tweeting like that because you're killing the buzz of the entire network. No word of a lie. Every time you tweet about recycling, bike lanes, municipal taxes, your neighbor's lawn, or your direct energy bill, it makes us look like we're 107. Like it's just so fucking, and I love you to death, but it's so fucking embarrassing to open up Twitter and see you go on a old man yells at clouds rant, like on a daily basis. Like I think last week you were mad because of the chip bag you bought only had a quarter of a bunch of chips in the bottom and there's too much air at the top.
Infuriating?
And you were fucking furious. Yes, yeah, but it is infuriating. But not to the point where I'm like, I need to sit down and prove a point about how old I am and how miserable I am about things that I don't get.
Have you seen the turtle box?
Yes.
Okay. Honestly, I opened it up half full.
What do you mean? Like people took half of them?
No, that's what they only put half. They only fill the turtle box half full. My
Lachlan's
wife brought
bad
home
at
that
shrinkflation.
Yeah. Well, of course, over the last 10 years, dude, 20 years, have you not noticed Oreos are smaller? Yes, because they're fucking criminals. You should know that by now. You shouldn't be angry about it.
I want a full box of turtles.
I know you do. Last night, I'm eating some After Eights. You know those little things that come in the jackets, After Eight mints?
Those are my favorite.
I looked at them and I'm like, these are a lot fucking smaller than I used to be.
Yeah, yeah.
And I Googled it. The After Eight is it's lost a quarter of its size in the last 25 years.
Holy shit.
They're fucking us. But you don't need to talk about getting fucked all the time. Like all the time. Every day it's an old man I got fucked tweet complaint.
Can I talk about the direct energy thing?
Yes.
So I was on an equalization
I don't know. Long story.
Yeah, how long is it?
Yes, it's long.
Okay.
I'm saving people money.
No,
I was on an equalization payment.
Okay.
In the summer, when they announced the fact that the bill, we were going to get a credit, my bill went up $500 a month to $550. Okay. So I cancel my service. I go with another company. I phone. I yell at them. It's not pretty. I'm not proud of it. But I said to them, I said, you got to blow it out your ass. You got one more bill coming. Don't you worry. So anyway, I'm expecting, because it's 1 week, because I canceled in September for October 28th. My billing cycle was like October 23rd or something. So I had like a week left, right? Okay. I get the bill today. It's $771 for a week. Would you not be upset by that? I'm paying $550 a month.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, yes, I would be mad. I guess I'd be angry about it. I guess. I don't know if I'd tweet about it. I mean, I'd call them.
I'm trying to save people. I'm on another service now, and I am nowhere near paying anything
anywhere near that
what I was paying in St. Albert with this company. Honestly, I swear to God. Now, they justify it, and they got it all figured out in their own minds.
Yeah.
And I phoned Service Alberta, and this guy on the phone was like, I've been getting calls all morning about this company. So this is not new. And the thing is I went with them because it was going to be two bills, or it was going to be one bill instead of two. I'm one of these guys that I just want consistency. So I went with equalization payments. That might've been my fault. Right.
Yeah.
Like, honestly,
that's a bad move.
The thing is go, if you can, and this is advice, and this is honest advice for people. If you're in the position of moving, or you're looking at this right now, because a lot of it's hard to explain and they all got it figured out on paper. You got to go with a company that's more direct to the source of the actual suppliers, right? Instead of a guy that goes to the company, then provides you the opportunity to buy from them. That's my mistake. And I shouldn't have signed with them. And over the years, I've legitimately, and of course, Positive Mike, honestly, there's about 5 or 6 people that just listen just to contradict me. It's all they can do. And that's his whole life. Stone 1A.
Stony? Is it this guy? Naked Cheese Whiz?
No.
Stone 1.
That's Sean. No, Stone 1A.
Dude, I don't even pay attention.
This one here.
Positive.
Okay, we have direct energy.
Of course, he has no problems because
Really This guy loves to get you, dude. It's between him and the stone
it's his
Seawit.
entire existence on the planet. It's why I never respond to anything he ever sends me, text or otherwise. Like,
all right.
Because it's just he's just trying to piss me off.
But listen, my point is this. My point is
the point is if you get a chance to pick a service provider in Alberta other than Direct Energy, trust me when I tell you, and I'm not alone. I had a bunch of people reaching out to me on DMs when I made that tweet, and I've been dealing with it for the last hour and a half.
All right.
It's not a listen, you're not going to sit here and be able to convince me that for a week, and I understand I was on an equalization payment, but over and above,
I understand I fucked up, but
I understand.
Okay.
But I was already paying $550 a month for gas and electrical.
I know, but like so everyone else was as well. Like everybody.
But if I was with a different provider, I would not be dealing with the same.
Well, now you know.
I would.
Well, now you know. I know.
Would. And I'm moving on. I'm able to move on. Thanks for bringing it up because I was actually much better before the podcast.
So call to action to our listeners. If you've got parents that are in their 70s or 80s, if you can show them how to operate their cell phone for podcasts, we're going to get Lachlan his own show. Do an old man pod.
It's going to be because it's literally like whenever I see you tweet about an old man thing like that, where you're complaining about the lawn or bylaws or bike lanes or heating bills and stuff like that, what you're doing is you're trying to rally people behind you, right? So
I'm not. I don't care. I'm not the Pied Piper.
Really?
I don't need a bunch of
radio.
people behind me to make.
Let me read this. Let's read this. See if you are the Pied Piper. Check your bills. Trust me. Check your bills. Switch services when you can. Do not sign with Direct Energy when they come to your door.
I'm saving you guys all money.
Dude, you are starting the Pied Piper of angry people that are pissed about their heating bills. I love it.
I care. I care.
Know you do. You
I
should
care
write a whole
about other
blog
people
post
getting
about it.
ripped off.
I know you do. Or are you trying to get them to eat the extra $250 while you switch? Is that what you're trying to do? Is there a little bit of that?
I just paid it. I'm not going to sit there.
Oh, did you?
Because
really?
honestly, I tried. I phoned the service, whatever. The woman that like from the, what is it?
I don't know.
Alberta Utilities Commission, UCA.
Yeah.
The UCA, it's a government agency. And she was just annoyed. Because they're on the phone every day with these people, right? And they know they don't have any recourse. They don't have any recourse because these people, they determine what you get charged. They set the rates, right? Because basically what it is, they're a bulk provider. Like they buy it from somebody else. So they're making a profit from overcharging you.
So you can't buy it directly from the energy supplier?
You can, but what ends up happening, these guys come around your house and they make it sound like you're going to save a bunch of money by combining.
You got suckered.
Yeah, you got suckered.
Did you get suckered into buying door-to-door heat?
And I just admitted it.
Okay.
I just admitted it. I never should have signed with this company, but I did it at convenience because I'm a convenience guy. Like I want the one bill. I don't want to have to pay 6 bills. I'd rather just pay and they said they're going to do the same thing. I should have gone with the actual provider, Fortis, which was St. Albert. In town here, I've got a different deal, and I paid attention to it based on the mistakes I've learned by dealing with the house that I had in St. Albert.
Yeah, I got a question for you too. Real quick.
Get away from Direct Energy.
You got suckered. Good for you. Got suckered. Don't deal with Direct Energy more. Fuck them. I'm on Team Lock now. I get it. Have you ever looked at your heating bill? By the way, and I'm not complaining. I got a delivery charge that was 5 times the amount of gas that I used last week.
Yeah. Paying for those pipelines that everybody screams and cries about.
No, we're just sending this down the line. We're going to charge you $200 for the actual fucking delivery fee and $50 for gas.
Yep.
Fucking highway robbery. That's what it
is.
They're
bending you over.
But you can't avoid it because it's like cell phone companies. It's the same thing. That's why America sucks ass. Don't worry, it's like a third world country. But it doesn't suck ass when it comes to this kind of stuff because they've got all kinds of people selling gas. Same with cell phones. All kinds of it. Canada sucks that way. We're literally a socialist country when it comes to that. Socialist, but kleptocratic, where we know certain people have access to certain things and we keep that nice and tight. And then the government and all their pals sharing that wealth with just a few people. So they've got people to steal
from. That's exactly what it is. When they a lot of times what will end up happening, we're seeing it right now in Edmonton. And I know this to be true because I was bitching about bike lanes last week because they did this budget upgrade, this reevaluation of the budget, and they announced they're going to spend in the next year $100 million plus. Over the next 4 years, they're going to increase taxes in Edmonton by 3.9%, right? And one of my friends, Jason Bale, was contacted me, and he said they want you upset about the bike lanes.
Oh God, bike lanes.
Hold on. Because it keeps us, it keeps our minds off. You got a new toy, don't you, Linz?
Yeah, he does.
So it keeps us occupied on something they don't care about, so that they can actually slip money to their friends through other means. So we pay attention to the bike lanes because it's the juicy one, right? But they're actually just.
I don't know if bike lanes are actually that juicy. I don't know if they're super juicy. I would like. Juicy to me is what Elon Musk did last night. That's juicy. That's juicy content you can hang on to.
What did he do, though? He didn't.
Have you not seen this video?
He walked out on a stage.
That's the best part.
I'm going to play this for you. No, I'm going to play this for you. I'm going to play. It's 4 minutes long. I might get dinged on. I don't know. Dave Chappelle doesn't allow cell phones in his show. Someone recorded it. Let me give you the backstory. Elon Musk decides to go to Dave Chappelle's show. This is in L.A., or San Fran, just outside. I believe it's the Oracle Center, if I'm not mistaken. It's where the
San Fran.
I think it's where the Golden State Warriors play. Yeah, or their new arena might be called the Oracle Center. I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He's in San Fran doing a show. Elon shows up. He goes on stage with Dave Chappelle. He gets not just booed. He gets ratioed, like to the point where you're going, oh, I get why he's doing this. Here's how it started. And then we'll get to why he's doing this. This is just a few seconds. This is where Dave Chappelle brings Elon up on stage. And Elon decides to go with one of Dave Chappelle's catchphrases, I'm rich, bitch. But he's South African, so he kind of fucks it up. Anyway, let's watch this together. Huh?
Wow.
That wasn't the end of it.
So hold on. What is that? Is that the beginning?
That's Elon on stage.
He introduces David Chappelle. David Chappelle brings out his buddy Elon Musk.
Yeah.
He comes
out, says, I'm rich, bitch. Yeah.
Within 10 seconds, 15, 20 seconds, he says that. That's his introduction to the crowd.
You got it. Now,
that's not a good start.
For the actual Elon performance. This was him trying his hand at stand-up with Dave on stage. I want you to keep in mind, this cat is revered like a god on Twitter. Okay? Twitter, not real life. On stage at a show in front of humans with a pulse, real life. Twitter, not real life. On stage with 20,000 people watching you, that is real life.
Yeah.
Let's watch the embarrassing, awkward. My back gets sweaty. I'm embarrassed for him. It is so fucking embarrassing and awkward. Let's watch it together.
Make some noise for the richest man in the world.
That's not embarrassing at all, huh? Like when you come out of your fucking Twitter cave and you think you're going to be celebrated as the coolest free speech guy on the planet. Because you've been trying to convince people that you are, and you show up and everybody's like, oh, fuck you.
Play the rest because I have some thoughts on.
Oh, there's lots.
Ears and booze, I see. Elon. Hey, Dave. Controversy, buddy.
Weren't expecting this, were you?
It sounds like some of them people you fired are in the audience. Hey, wait a minute. Those of you booing.
Can you hear that? You can hear people like the entire auditorium, 20,000 people strong, sold out Chappelle show, booing. This is now 2 solid minutes.
I wish I could hear what Chappelle says.
Yeah, I'll read it out to you when we're done.
I'll throw it ahead like it sounds like.
I'm not
But you
hearing what he's
notice
saying.
one thing? All those people are booing, and I'm just pointing out the obvious. You have terrible seats, but I understand. All coming from way up there.
Said all the people that are booing have terrible seats. That's why they're booing. He's trying to help Elon out a little bit. He's like, "Ooh, this is not going like I thought it would go," because they thought this would be a great thing. Oh, you bring the richest guy in the world, you're about to bring him out, right? Fuck, this is gonna be awesome. Didn't go so awesome.
Last minute, non-playing niggas boo.
Listen to that. If you're a comedian, this is a nightmare, by the way.
Yeah.
Boo. Listen. Whatever.
We're not even halfway done.
It's so uncomfortable. It's so.
This nigga is not even trying to die on Earth. His whole business model is fuck Earth. I'm leaving anyway.
His whole business model is fuck Earth. I'm leaving anyway. He's trying to crack a joke, trying to lighten the mood.
Do all you want. Take me with you, nigga. I'm going to Mars. Whatever kind of pussy they got up there, that's what we'll be doing. Anti-gravity titty bars. Follow your dreams, bitch, and the money just float all over the room.
She's talking about how he wants to be the first guy on Mars to go to a titty bar. This is going really well.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on stage.
Are you kidding? I wouldn't miss this opportunity.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? He's like, "Thanks for having me on stage." So now he's playing the crowd. He's like, "Wow, they really fucking hate you, dude."
The first comedy club on Mars. That should be mine. A deal's a deal, Musk.
Yeah.
You niggas can move if you want. This nigga gave me a jetpack last Christmas. Fly right past your house, nigga. Boo these nuts and you'll find my jetpack. That's how we like to chill. We do ball and shit.
This is where it gets extra uncomfortable, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Dang, what should I say?
Don't say nothing.
Okay.
It'll only spoil the moment. Do you hear that sound, Elon? That's the sound of pending civil unrest.
Did you hear that? He's like, what do I say? So Elon, Mr. Genius, is on stage at a sold-out comedy show. He says to the comedian, "What do I say?" And then he's like, "Don't say nothing." You hear that sound? That's pending civil unrest. Fuck, they hate you, he says.
I can't wait to see which store you decimate next, motherfucker. You shut the fuck up with your boobs. There's something better than you can do. Booing is not the best thing you can do. Try, nigga, to make it what you want it to be. I am your ally. I wish everybody in this auditorium peace and the joy of feeling free. And your pursuit of happiness make you happy. Amen. Thank you very much, San Francisco. No city on earth has ever been kinder. Like you. Good night.
Holy shit. That was his closing?
Yeah, that was it. Brought him out at the end. Brought him out, did his thing, screamed, "I'm rich, bitch." And then for 4 minutes and 18 seconds, stood there while the entire crowd, 20,000 people in the home of the Golden State Warriors, literally booed him, called him a fraud, called him an incel, and it went so bad that the guy who posted that last night on Twitter, the very first guy who posted it, had his entire account nuked, like disappeared, absolutely gone. As soon as he put it up, Elon was like, boom, get rid of it. So the good news is someone sent it to me late last night. I'm like, I need to rip this real quick before it disappears from the internet. So I ripped it off. And you can read all about it. You can watch all 4 minutes and 18 seconds at deanblundell.com. It's right there. Can I just quickly say something? You know, last week I was like, I got a theory about this guy. I got a theory that he's preparing for some really bad news and he's trying to get out in front of it with all the PR.
Yeah.
Let me add just an extra layer to that, if I may. That was real life, right? What we saw, as I pointed out before playing it, were human beings in front of Elon Musk with a chance to say something. It wasn't a moderated social media platform that he paid $44 billion for. It had no algorithms, right? Had no keywords, had no incels. It had no bots, no trolls, nothing. That is why Elon Musk is the world's biggest fucking fraud. And you just watched it. The circle jerk that you see with all the incels and all the bot boys and all the losers that think this guy's here to save their life or save free speech, when really all he's doing is boiling as many frogs as he can. And he's trying to raise the temperature of hate speech. That's all he's really trying to do. Dude, he's been doing it all week. He put this out after the whole thing. You heard it, right? You heard everybody boo the entire stadium. Someone says a crowd full of boos. He's like, technically it was 90% cheers, 10% boos. How the fuck did he go through and metric that? Like, how did he figure? He didn't.
Gaslighting.
To the point, he's lying.
Yeah.
Everything this guy says and does on this platform is a lie. You know when he said that he was going to get rid of child exploitation?
Yeah.
He fired everybody in the child exploitation department. He's not doing that. You know when he said he wouldn't shadow ban everybody? He's shadow banning people. He's nuking personal accounts. He's passing on personal information in these Twitter file drops and doxing people when when he says the freedom of speech and privacy is the most important. Everything this guy does is about him. This is what he put out today too. He's like, hey, look at me, center of attention. I got rid of all the bots. No, he didn't. He didn't get rid of any bots. What else did he do today? Great question. Called everybody that believes COVID is a pandemic a branch Covidian. That's nice too, isn't it? What else did he do to signal to his fascist state crowd? Great question. There is a big video of a migrant caravan of 1,000 people crossing into the States from Texas. He tweets that. What do the incels love? They love their closed borders. They love their nationalist state. They love xenophobia. Everything this guy is feeding into the world through this thing that he bought is bullshit. It's all a lie. You just saw it. I mean, dude is fucking in front of 20,000 human beings, and they just went, fuck you, douche. That's all I was. No one likes him. He's got 120 million followers because people are just fucking fascinated by how much of a douche lord the guy is. That's all. That's all it is. And the reason he's creating this fake reputation is because something big is coming. And I
don't disagree with you on that theory. Linz, do you have anything you want to say before I give my thoughts on the Chappelle thing?
It just kills me that he's showing this. I'm by the grave for the bots. This is literally a sponsored post that I saw today. A verified bot that will talk to you, and it operates online. It has 70,000 fucking followers, and it's not even a human being. So
like
not only is he not getting rid of bots, he's allowing them to advertise as bots on the platform. This is the purest form of gaslighting I've ever seen in my fucking life.
It's awesome.
So
yeah. And the funny part is that the funny part is that all of his minion, dumb fucking computer programming nerd pals, all his incel pals, all those guys that traditionally without the internet would be in the basement furiously masturbating to comic book magazines.
Yeah.
Like in graphic novels and stuff like that. Go, Mom, just bring me down some grilled cheese. Just leave me alone for 5 minutes.
Mountain Dew.
Yeah. All those guys feel like they're super empowered by him, and they feel like, fuck, I guess it's the only thing that matters is whatever he says now. He is literally the law. You watch the law get mocked to his fucking face yesterday. Because that's,
I mean, like you said, dude. You keep saying it's Twitter is in real life. I think that's worth saying out loud. Yeah, it's not. So he has control over something that is culturally fairly significant worldwide.
Yeah.
Here, I what I've been trying to do with this whole Elon Musk thing is because I'm just as fascinated by people's undying need to get up every morning and try to find a way to make him look bad. Like there seems to be.
It's not hard.
No, I realize that, and he's giving everybody a lot, but that's fascinating to me. Like, I don't get. Yeah, I can move on in my day if I know somebody. I can put them in their box. I don't need to go out and try to amplify. Like, there is a significant amount of time and energy around the world of people trying to discredit this man. Is it because they're jealous of his success, or like, I don't understand that. That's fascinating to me. So this Chappelle thing is even more interesting because I don't know about you guys, but I have a lot of respect for Chappelle and what he has to say. I think he's brilliant. I think it's kind of terrifying that one of the more reasonable voices of our time is a guy like David Chappelle, who's a comic who can say just about anything and get away with it. Now, I'm trying to figure out what the motivation is and whether or not this was actually a mistake on his part, or if he knew this was going to happen. Like,
I don't think he did, dude. Did you not? The feeling that I got from it was like he was shocked. Like, there was a point when in that 4 minutes that we played where he was like, boo, boo, boo. Okay. like he was like, geez, this is fucking weird. This hasn't
Do you
happened to me
think that
since I
he
was like
thought
19.
he could salvage it?
I'll tell you what I think happened. Have you this has happened to you, Lachlan. It's happened to me, so guaranteed it's happened to you. Have you ever in radio, you've been in radio a long time, you know you got a big show coming up, right? And you're going to be one of the centers of attention of that show. In your mind, you have this expectation. You're like, you're going to fucking love me. I'm going to walk in. I'm me. Change the world. Because you believe that. Like, you believe the poison of you, right? He believes the poison of him, Elon. Dave Chappelle was like, fuck, I'll throw anybody. Guy's the richest guy in the world. I'm going to do what's best for me. I'll throw him on stage. See how it goes. Went absolutely rock bottom terrible. But Elon, in his own mind, because he's trying to curate and create this idea that he's loved. He's fucking universally hated, right? He wants to tell people he's one of them, but he ain't. He wants to tell people he's here for them, but he's not. Everything he does is for himself. Every story he tells, he's the center of attention and the hero of that story. Whether it's bots or free speech or buying Twitter, he has to continually reinsert himself as the hero or whatever narrative or whatever tweet or whatever story he tells. He's a fucking complete, absolute ego. Racist, apartheid, fascist. He's involved in the noosphere too, which is like kleptocratic. Like, he really believes the wealth should be concentrated among very few individuals, and he should be one of them. Like, he really believes that. Totally believes that. So, in his mind, he thought last night was going to go fucking unbelievable. He's like, I'm going to get on stage. I'm going to raise
But
my
did
hands.
Chappelle
Say,
no. We all know Elon. Like, what? Like, I don't
hold it. Let me get through
Chappelle's an idiot. Like,
let me get through this.
Elon is doing it because, but Chappelle. Like, I want to know what that was. That, like, that doesn't make sense.
He thought that people would love him too because the online reaction that he's, dude. I'm telling you, the online reaction and the online reputation that Elon Musk has started to and spent a lot of time and now really dedicated to doing and curating. Mm-hmm. I think Dave bought it too. Dave was probably
I think Chappelle's
I think this is going to be incredible. I do.
I think Chappelle thought that he
but that's what I'm saying.
Smarter
I think this is what I was trying to get to. And this is what I think. This is the truth. I think that Elon has been so incredibly effective at convincing people that he's loved, right, or liked, or revered, that I think Dave bought into it. I think because he was shocked by it. And in his mind, he probably thought it was going to go fine because he's been snowed by the Twitter machine and he's been snowed by the PR machine behind the guy that's got 180 billion down from 302 6 months ago, by the way. 120 billion. He's still one of the richest guys in the world. Tesla stock, by the way, it's at an all-time low. It's just in the shitter. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But he thought people were going to cheer. And do you know, like, you've been on stage where you've been booed or thrown at. Have you been booed at? Have you been thrown? Have people thrown shit at you? Yeah, right.
People love me.
And then it goes poorly, or so you expect people to love you and someone hates you and someone tells you you're fucking terrible. You're like, am I reading the tea leaves wrong? Do people not think the same about me as I feel about me? And the answer is absolutely not. And that is the case for everybody in the world except Elon Musk. Yeah. That's fucking unbelievable.
Can I throw another theory out there?
100%. That's why we're here.
I think
we're theory throwers.
You're not gonna get any disagreement from me on the Elon Musk thing. I think that Elon Musk is an egomaniac. I think he probably got his people to reach out to Chappelle because he's a big fan. Met with him, probably had a dinner the night before, and they talked about the idea of him coming out on stage. And where I think maybe you might be right is I think Elon may have thought, all right, I'm in San Francisco. I kind of own this town. I will get I'll get a decent response. Where I think you're completely wrong is Chappelle thinking that Elon Musk is loved. I don't think Chappelle is that disconnected from reality to think that Elon Musk is some fucking bastion of hope for mankind and thought that by bringing him on stage at his show in San Francisco, he was bringing a hero to the nation out. I don't think Chappelle thought that. I think Chappelle thought that he would get a negative response, but that he would be able to somehow
work around it,
get people on side, and then have sort of this moment to present this idea that, listen, no matter whether or not you agree or disagree with this man or anybody else, they have a place in the world, and they have a right to speak up and be heard, and then get into his free speech thing that Chappelle is also a proponent of. He believes that you should be allowed to say what you want to say and that you shouldn't be canceled. So he's bringing somebody who is in the middle of being canceled daily and aggressively by thousands of people on Twitter, off Twitter, and around the world. And Dave thought he could get, and I don't know if it went the way Dave thought it would go, and I don't think Dave recovered the way he wanted to recover.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think Dave knew he's too smart. Dean, he's too smart.
But dude, someone said something I thought was really interesting in the comment section, Matthew, and I think this is a great point. He's like, Chappelle's totally in a bubble of elites. He's completely lost touch with normal working class people. Now, I don't know that to be true. I know he's a big proponent of his hometown in Ohio. I know he employs the whole town. I know he's very judicious and very generous. And
he's a millionaire. Of course he's out of touch.
but
he's not that out of touch to know that Elon Musk is loved versus hated. No way.
Yeah.
Come on, you can't be that stupid.
I believe that to be true. I don't think he's stupid. I think he really fucking misread the room because the spin machine lens that Elon's been on, he's convinced. Like, if you think he's doing that on Twitter, what do you think he's doing in private? Oh, dude, we're going to change the world. It's going to be incredible. Don't you worry about a thing.
Yeah, people are huffing those farts hard that are around him. Anybody that's near him is just directly connected to it with a gas mask. Just
human centipede.
Yeah,
just sewing each other's assholes to each other's lips. It's all it is.
I think if this was anything, this was a miscalculation on Chappelle's part to actually salvage a moment that he knew was going to go sideways. A lot of these guys, they throw themselves into uncomfortable situations to shake things up in their sets and to keep themselves on their toes. Chappelle will do a fucking 6-hour set at 2:00 in the morning to test stuff, knowing that stuff isn't going to work. He'll throw stuff out there that he knows is just awful, just to sort of see what the reaction of the crowd is going to be. These guys are artists on a different level. Chappelle is one of the best, and I think he miscalculated his ability to bring that room around to whatever point he wanted to make at the end, and I think that's what happened here.
Maybe you could be right. You could be right. All I know is those are extraneous conversations that come out of the most embarrassing moment of Elon Musk's life in front of 20,000 people, which he avoids like the plague, by the way. Avoids people like the plague, human people, like people around, doesn't want people around that he can't trust. That killed him, and I loved it. Loved every second of it.
Here's what I would say. Like, honestly, if let's say for God knows whatever reason, Elon Musk flew into Edmonton and found out that I did a show or whatever, or that I was asking for a blue check mark and thought it would be funny to reach out to me.
Mm-hmm.
I would fucking, regardless of what people thought of him, I would go out of my way to
talk on the show.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, you'd have international attention to your brand.
Of course.
And to your,
yeah.
He knows what he's doing. Chappelle
I would
knows
do
what he's
it
doing.
from the perspective of, this is that I might not be, this might not be a guy that I agree with, and he might not do things that I agree with.
Mm-hmm.
But my God, man, just to sort of spend 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes in a room with Elon Musk to sort of get a sense, like in person, why he thinks the way, or even if you try to read the way he thinks. And Chappelle's that kind of guy. Chappelle's that guy that somebody phones him up and goes, Elon Musk wants to come to the show, wants to go for dinner with you. Like, he wants to talk to you about the trans, controversy that every time Dave is in any city, that ends up presenting itself.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He wants to talk to you about that. And he wants to talk to you about Twitter, and get your thoughts. Chappelle is not saying no to that. Based
of course not.
On the hatred for Elon. And I can't believe that Chappelle would not be aware, as disconnected he is from the common man, because he has millions and millions and millions of dollars now. I think the last Netflix deal he wrote was 60 mil.
Something like that, yeah.
For those 5 specials.
Yeah.
The guy doesn't need to hang out with the chauffeurs anymore. Right? Right? He's not going to be a man of the people. But he's not going to pass up that opportunity to meet with Elon Musk. I'm sorry. As much as you guys hate him, I can't see you passing up the opportunity to go.
Of course not, dude. It's not about that. I mean, I could care less. I understand why he brought him on. I think he thought it would go well, though. I think he thought it would go better than that. I do. I think he thought it would go better than that. But I think he brought him out there for the express purpose that you say he brought him out there for, which is the train wreck. It's fucking the most important, relevant man right now. Not important, most relevant man in news entertainment in the world. And he wants to come to your show. Of course, you're going to put him on stage and see what happens.
That's what I would do. That's the most ridiculous part about it, though, is how relevant and how in the spotlight he is. Do you know where Twitter ranks in the world of social media internationally?
Way down.
Number 1 is obviously it's Meta, right? Facebook, Instagram, that conglomerate there with TikTok. WhatsApp.
Please don't say Meta.
No, TikTok is there.
TikTok Instagram. Is like in like the number 4 slot or whatever. Twitter's like down like 8 or 9. Like there's literally 2.8 billion people on Facebook, and there's like 6 or 7
million.
No, 600 million, I think, on Twitter.
273 live, like 273 that use it all the time. 273 million. That's it.
And 2-point-something billion. Like, do you remember last year when we were talking about social media? It was all about Facebook with that leaker, that whistleblower that was out there telling her story about how we were fucking kids on Instagram and screwing with the algorithms to target them. And I swear to God, if Mark Zuckerberg doesn't send Elon Musk the biggest fucking thank you fruit basket for Christmas this year, I don't know what, because if we're sitting here paying attention to fucking dummy, well, Facebook's still pulling their shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's the news.
They're getting away with, it's the same thing. I said this for years when Trump was in power. I'm like, Trudeau should be sending him a gift basket.
My favorite part about
focus was Trump.
My favorite part about people on Twitter who just don't know and for some reason get caught up in this. And it's very fun to talk about, and we have fun with it here on the show, but they should bring Jack. Where's Jack? You're talking about Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey still owns his original shares in Twitter. Everybody doesn't realize Jack Dorsey is a partner in Twitter still to this day.
and communicates on a fairly regular basis with Elon.
With Elon, yeah.
So and they had a fight last week, literally on Twitter, where they were talking about the child exploitation shit. You remember that? And he's like, they were allowed to exploit children here, and Jack's like, no, you weren't. We never did that. And he's like, yes, you did. And then Jack's like, oh fuck, I guess I'll eat the shit. And it's like, you can't. I mean, it's just lie after lie after lie, and it's performative lie after lie after lie. And the whole purpose of that is so other people think he's a fucking saint, and he's not. He's human fucking garbage. Elon Musk is human fucking garbage. Literally. Part of me wonders, a couple things. He's got a lot of kids. One of his I think one of his daughter, I believe, is trans, if I'm not mistaken, changed her name with his first wife.
I did hear that. Yeah.
Who's Canadian.
Yeah.
Yep. A lot of me wonders if this is what's pissed him off. If he's just really disappointed. Like, because he espouses all the same views and all the talking points of conservatives, religious dickheads, the anti-trans group, all that stuff, right? Like he literally
pronouns.
Then he's got a daughter who's trans, and as much as I appreciate Dave Chappelle's philosophy and his comedy, not a fan of trans people. Don't like Dave Chappelle very much.
Yeah.
So what does he do? He goes right to Dave Chappelle's show, and he's like, "Look at me." Right?
And how does Dave say no?
You're doesn't.
Right. How do you say no?
Yeah. I think
fascinating.
It is.
I think that was, if it was a miscalculation, it was something that eventually he'll admit to, and I think he'll step out in front of a mic down the road and go, "Yeah, that didn't go the way I wanted it to."
And that's the nice thing about
that he
commented on it today. He said that didn't go great.
And that's his luxury. That's the beautiful spot that Chappelle is in. He can fuck up and then just come out the next day and go, yeah, that didn't go very well.
You know why?
And everybody's like, oh, that's fucking hilarious. That's it.
He has some humility, right?
And Elon Musk does not. That's why he stood there like a fucking robot and didn't know what to do, because he's never been showered with booze.
That kind of negativity.
It's always been praised.
He's a 14-year-old kid. He's literally a 14-year-old fuckboy.
Arrested Development.
It's what he is. He's just like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it was one of his beatings that he got from his dad. Maybe it was a beating he got from his mom. I don't know. I know he got hit a lot when he was a kid, and it's very sad. All that other
spectrum.
Stuff.
Yeah,
he's also on the there's a million reasons why he's a douchebag, and I know he's got a predilection for being a douchebag, and some of them are not his fault. But dude, trust me when I tell you, as a former complete egomaniacal asshole, someone that had to literally beat the shit out of his ego to get to a point where he's like, oh, I get it. When you tell people that you are something and you lie about what you are, you're doing it to keep them away from that scared little idiot that you are on the inside. That's all this is. It's like, fuck, if you talk to a psychiatrist, and I have one, by the way, great guy. I talked to him about Elon Musk last week.
Avoid them.
I'm like, oh, they're great. Dude, you should go. You should really go.
Oh, my God.
I'm sitting there, we're just shooting shit ahead of time. I'm like, what do you make of him? And he's like, delusions of grandeur, son. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I know what it means. I'm like, explain that to me. Explain delusions of grandeur in your mind. He's like, he is literally deluded. He is trying to tell everybody that he's this thing when he knows he's not. And he goes, Dean, what did it do to you? I go, turn me into a raging alcoholic. He's like, yeah. And he's going to crash too. He says, I give him 3 years. My therapist, he goes, I give him 3 years before he just bottoms out, because you can't keep up with being two people, right? And he's trying to tell people he's
syndrome, right?
Totally.
And then when you realize that the gig might be up, you overcompensate in certain areas. I've seen people
short
do
circuit.
It.
Yeah,
I've seen firsthand how that can have an impact on your ego and how you interact with other people.
Yeah.
Again, here's the thing that I've been trying to do though with Elon, and I think it would be healthy for you too, because you guys are very fascinated by this guy. And we spent a lot of time talking about Elon Musk. The thing I've been trying to do is, if he does something, rather than go on Twitter or social media and try and figure out all the reasons why that is such a, I've been trying to figure out why this guy's had so much success. Because that seems to be the underlying current right now. Everybody wants to discredit the man for the success he's had and just go, he did that. He got that because of this. clearly he didn't do that. He didn't do this. There are some things and that he is onto that I'm like, that he announces that I think are good ideas, or at least the start of good ideas. I don't think he has the same kind of collaboration that he might have had in the past that may have helped him out with his success.
Mm-hmm.
But like, for instance, the shadow banning thing, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a great idea. The problem is he can't let his own ego gets in the way. Like you guys were telling me that he blocked a bunch of people that released the video from the Chappelle thing.
Didn't just
their
block
accounts
them,
right down.
zap their accounts. Like
You can't go on you can't go into public and say, hey, listen, we're getting rid of shadow banning. Not only that, we're going to present everybody who's been shadow banned is going to find out about it and take the steps. I think that's brilliant. I think there are things that he does where he thinks out of the box that are part of the reason why he has achieved what he has achieved. He takes chances, but he's getting in his own way now, right? That's why I think there is some sense to Dean's philosophy that he's hiding something. Like I think he's trying to stay in the press a little bit too much as well.
Manic,
right?
Manic. Yeah, you can't stop.
Yeah, it's a huge problem too, because I agree with you, Locke. I think you're right. I think people do overlook the fact that there is credit where credit is due when it comes to Elon Musk. You're absolutely right. You can't deny him that. But I think it came from when he was first starting out, when he did the PayPal thing and everything. No eyes were on him then.
Yeah.
And this was a culmination of shitty decisions as he started, and fucking whoever he could to get ahead, which he did. And the stories didn't come out until later, once he had already amassed a pretty good amount of wealth to be able to go out and keep doing what he's doing. And now it's to the point where he's created his own monster in the attention that he receives and doesn't know now who. Seriously, if he came up to you as a business person, and ask anybody that is a business person, and he came up to you with an idea and wanted you to invest in a business with him after what's just happened with Twitter, would you do it? I don't think so. I don't think anybody in their right
of guys
fucking
out there
mind
that would throw money at that just for the possibility of the success. I want one of his flamethrowers.
I do want one of those. I tried, and they were gone like that. So yeah, and this is what I mean. Like, and this is back before he started doing this. So after this, I think this is the exit.
He's in trouble.
He's in trouble.
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
Because there's no turning back from
stock is in the
shit
toilet.
that he's trying.
SpaceX stock is in the toilet today. Tesla. You know how much money Tesla lost today in stock price alone, stock value, $25 billion today. $25 billion. At even that's half the price it was like 6 months ago, and even half the price still. People are saying it's gonna fucking do $40-50 a share probably, because China's not buying cars, just ripped chip manufacturing out of China. Videos of his cars exploding and driving into the woods are fucking popping up all over the place. He's toast, man. I don't know. It's gonna be a matter of time.
The China thing's a little out of his hand. Apple's in the same boat, right?
Europe is about to fuck him too. Europe has him on the strings right now, saying if you don't quit this shit, your Twitter will no longer be a thing in Europe. And they have the means to do that. And he doesn't have the market share to make those kind of fucking gambles right now.
The manufacturing side of the business for Apple and for Tesla and big companies that have a lot of infrastructure in China, and they have a lot of it's backfiring on them now because the world's turning against the human rights issues. So I think people are sitting there going, "What? You still have a fucking factory in China? What are you doing, Apple? Like, why are 90% of your phones built there when people are literally being locked in factories, and
they have to put suicide nets outside. They put nets.
They got to put nets on the outside the window so people don't commit suicide, because everybody was like jumping out of the window after an 18-hour shift of putting a chip in a fucking iPhone.
Yeah,
it's
all
all
in different companies. Yeah.
They're going for it anyway.
Does the
fucking
suicide net work?
Yeah, it does.
I don't know what the weight limit is. I don't know what would happen if the difference between if Dean jumped out and I jumped out, but.
What if the three of us jumped at the same time? All right, guys, we're ending it.
Just a mess.
Yeah.
Just a disgusting.
That'd be a big net.
Speaking of disgusting messes, have
That's
you guys
600
gotten,
pounds plus, boys.
Yeah, I know, maybe 7. Quick question: have you guys got your tickets for the Jordan P?
You can't even get through it.
Yeah, the Jordan Peterson Incel Stadium tour. Have you guys got your tickets?
Call it that, did he? What did he call it?
It's just the stadium tour, but I call it the Incel Stadium tour. It's just happening. Just announced the Canadian Tire Center. This is where the Ottawa Senators play. 18,000 people can fit into the place. Jordan Peterson brings Beyond Order. 12 more rules for a life tour.
12 more rules.
So is that, what's that, 12? That's 24 now?
Oh,
We got 24
fucking rules.
Okay.
Oh my God, so many rules. For a life tour. 12 more rules for life tour. Canadian Tire Center, Monday, January 30th. Tickets on sale. Friday, December 16th, 10 a.m. I have a mind to go to this. Like
people will go. Like, the
Dean,
sad thing is,
Dean, can we expense it? Can we get the company to?
Yeah. I honest to God, I think like my first big company thing, and when we relaunch in the new year, and we got lots of great things to tell people. My first event will be the Jordan Peterson Incel Stadium tour, where I get to sit down, and I'm going to bring a fucking megaphone with me.
Yeah.
And every time he says something stupid, I'm going to go, "That's bullshit." I don't know. I don't know anybody that admits to even liking this guy anymore. And he's going on a fucking stadium tour. He's literally fresh out of a benzo coma. He literally talks about sexual reassignment surgery. He calls people butchers. He fucking makes fun of large women. Like he calls fat women ugly. He is like, people are going to go to this for one reason and one reason only. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. And this is the truth. People are going to go to this for one reason, to get better at life. You know what his 12 rules are? Like, one of them is pet a cat. The other one is clean your room. Another one is make your bed. People are going to pay $140.
These are 12
to go
more
listen
rules,
to the leader of the Incel, a guy who spent the last couple of years in a fucking meat coma in Russia trying to get off benzos, on 12 more rules to do your life. The first 12 he had clearly didn't work for him at all.
Doesn't seem like the guy to follow when it comes, like, if you're lost, and don't get me wrong, there are people that are lost. How bad is it that you're going to a Jordan Peterson seminar to get better? How bad? Like, 1
I don't
to
think
10.
it's bad. You know what I think? You know what I think it is? I don't think it's self-help. You know what I think it is? I think it's like this espionage, sort of like under the fucking, under the door, a little bit of, like when he says 12 rules, it's like 12 ways you can fuck over anybody who loves black people. 12 ways you can creep chicks out. Like, the people that are going to this, if they're not going for me, like I'm going for the joke of it all, to be a dick.
Do you guys know
the people that are going to this? Hang on one second. The people that are, I've read like half of it. It's fucking hilarious. It's literally like, I laughed out loud. There's one chapter in it where he's like, literally says, you need to, if you want to have a good life, you need, and when you see a stray cat, walk up to it and pet it. Chapter 6.
Holy shit, my rent's paid now.
No, I'm not kidding you. He's no peer reviewed papers. He's never done a study. He's never published anything, nothing other than this book. And you know where this book came from? 12 Rules. It came from a joke that he started on Quora. You know that website, Quora?
Yeah.
Where you can,
I've heard that. I thought this was disproved.
No, it's 100% true. A publisher came to him and said, you know your Quora stuff? Can you put together a book? And this is like mid benzo meat sweat. Like, this is like right in the heat of it. And he's like, absolutely. So he fucking rocks this book.
In between the keg and Shoppers Drug Mart.
Yeah. And he's like, here, this is my book. And they're like, this is going to sell fantastically because we're going to target this at angry, young, dumb white guys. And he's like, perfect. Goes away for a couple of years because he goes to Russia, not being extremized, if you will. And then he comes back and he's like, I got all the answers now. Follow me. and he gets 5 million people. He makes like 2 million a month off Twitter, off of fucking his YouTube channel alone. He's literally a fucking operation. That's all he is. He's just an operation, and he's going on an Incel stadium tour. Can you imagine the terror in every woman usher's fucking eyes when they take guys down to their seats for the Jordan Peterson show?
Or like the concession stands, like somebody working in the concessions. They're just coming up, yelling at them, and treating them like as subservient as Jordan wants them to. Oh my God, I didn't even think of that. You're right.
Exciting.
So
Incel stadium tour.
Remember when we had Marianne on?
Yeah.
Okay, and she was talking about going to get her cell phone package
Yeah.
And the guy,
the guy that
got her
her
number and texted her and asked her to go for a hike. But there was do you remember one of the comments that she made about the interaction she had with him at the kiosk when she was asking questions about the switching to a business plan?
Which
remember
one?
he said something like, "Stop talking. It's my turn."
Oh yeah.
And
very JBP.
What's that?
Very JBP. Yeah. I remember that.
But there's also a book out there. What's it called? Some guy released some awful book about how to pick up women and be just total dicks to them.
Yeah, that alpha male thing.
Yeah, like 13 rules on. Listen, there are a lot of people out there that take these self-help books and they read them and they actually try to, as soon as she said that, and I didn't want to get off track when she brought it up.
She said no more questions, by the way. Ashley just chimed in the comment section. She said he told her no more questions. Yeah.
But that is right there. That's from that book.
Yeah.
I've read a couple of excerpts from it. I never actually bought the book, or I know enough about the book to know what it is. And it literally, guys that have trouble with women interacting with women, they go to these courses, they read these books. There's a lot of people out there that look for help from people like Jordan Peterson. And you guys will be shocked. That place will be full. He will sell that. He will be close to a sellout.
No, he did one earlier this year earlier this year when he was in Kitchener. It was pretty big. I remember he did one in Kitchener, somewhere KW or Cambridge. He did one there at some arts center, and people actually showed up for it. And I don't know if it was a sellout.
Out there, Dean. There's so many people out there that are not happy with their current the way that their life is going. They're not happy with how people interact with them, how they're perceived in the workplace with the opposite sex, and there's so much.
You know what we call those people?
Hopeless people out there that are grasping at straw, and that's what unfortunately, Jordan Peterson attracts that type of person.
Hang on.
I know you already said
he does. No, you're right. He does.
And there's
that's a big wide brush you're painting with. I agree with you that he attracts the searcher. But let's get granular with who that searcher is.
Okay.
Yes.
That searcher is someone who is religious, that has some sexual issues, if not a small dick, major issues in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Social interaction
issues. Yeah.
Very hard time with social interactions. An incel. So that's who you're describing. The searcher you're describing is a dude who hates his life, can't get chicks, super awkward, terrible upbringing, maybe bad relationship or close or far from the mother or the father, something. There's some weird dynamic there where they go looking for that father figure. And you know what he does, which is incredible, is he panders to their privilege and what they should have and what they don't have and who to blame and who to be angry at. He never gives anybody solutions ever.
No,
never once.
No, just
never
shows them how to blame.
Hold on, make your bed.
You got to blame this. It's this person's fault. That person's fault. As opposed to real cognitive behavioral therapy, philosophy, psychiatry, who say we're going to work on solutions. We're not going to stay in that anger. We're not going to stay in that fucking weird space where you blame everybody all the time.
Comforting,
like a victim dick. Like it's all he is the fucking king of the incels and the king of the incel victim.
But I'm
dicks.
telling you right now, here's the only reason I bring it up. The only reason I bring it up is because I don't think there's going to be 10 people at that place, and that's a sad part of the
We'll be surprised at how many victim dicks will part with their money to go and see this guy to be around other victim dicks because they'll feel really good about being in a room full of victim dicks.
125 bucks. I wouldn't be surprised. How much is it?
140, I think. So I took
140 bucks. Yeah, and he'll sell that ticket, man. And that's the sad part of the world. That's where we're at. I've said this before. And I'll say it again. If you got a kid, young man in your life, nephew, buddy's kid, you show up at your buddy's place to watch hockey and you see the kid sitting in the sofa reading a Jordan Peterson book. Take that fucking kid for a coffee.
Yeah.
Have a talk with a man. Like, honestly, because they're looking, they're searching.
Absolutely.
And listen, it doesn't mean that they're on the wrong path.
Yes, it does.
It means maybe not right now.
They took the wrong exit. Turn around.
They might just be looking for answers to questions that people don't have the courage to talk about. And unfortunately, that kind of mindset, that really negative mindset, does sort of attract these types of individuals. And it is a bit of a grift, right?
Oh,
that's all it is.
Jordan Peterson.
That's all it is. It's all it's doing this for. Here's the funny part.
It's cash.
Here's the funny part. Then we'll move on from the Incel Stadium tour.
Sure.
Here's the funny part. I read a story. This guy fucking kills me. He is such human garbage. And I'll get to that story in just 1 second. This is a tweet that he put out today where I'm like, oh, this guy. Look at what he tweeted today.
Oh, yeah.
Before the great and unnecessary lockdown, when you could buy things and flights were on time, 2-hour delay out of Comox, British Columbia today, despite perfect weather. Air Canada, why do we miss our connection? Why? Don't ask such questions. He's like fucking, his anger
you know what
is
I'm
like,
going to do? I'm going
to
tweet Jordan
complains
Peterson about direct energy just to see if he's got any thoughts.
But your heating bill, he might be able to put those guys on notice.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you know why he is what he is? And I read a fucking great little piece about it the other day.
Okay.
About 5-6 years ago, his wife, Nosferatu, she looks like the undead. Sorry. His wife. Yeah, I can't help it. It's still in me. His wife wakes up one morning from a brilliant dream. Well, you know how he writes about his dreams, like the one where he saw his grandmother in a dream petting her vagina,
her pubes. Yeah. He was
her
after
petting,
her pubes,
like stroking her pubes. Remember that? Yeah, that was
region. Yeah.
Yeah, and he wrote about it. And he's like, I think it means that I'm here to save the world. And it's seriously, that's what he said. He's like, I had a dream that my grandmother pet her vagina on the edge of the beach. I think that means I'm here to save the world, or I'm a huge pussy. One of the two. But anyway, bottom line is his wife wakes up from this fabulous dream. She looks at Jordo. She leans over and she's like,
Jordo,
I want to tell you a story. No, she's like, I got to tell you something. I had this incredible dream.
Oh, you're fucking terrible.
She's like, do tell, darling. She's like, I had a dream that you came here, sent by God himself, to save young men.
He told us.
He then gets on this fucking massive kick over the past like 4 or 5 years, to the point where he actually gave an interview about this, and he's like, my wife, Nosferatu, wakes up one morning and she's like, I want to tell you a story. No, she's like, you're going to save young men. You're going to educate them and save them and bring them to Jesus. And he's like, you know what he said to his wife in this interview? He's like, I was thinking the same thing.
Jesus. Oh, my God.
Now, it was him telling the story, right? She didn't
Can I tell you about a weak moment I had? And I don't know why I stopped myself from doing it, but it's on the topic of dreams. Since I've moved into this new house, and I don't know if it's like the stress of moving, but I am a dead sleeper. I don't dream. I don't remember them. I don't wake up and go, oh, that's funny. I dreamt this. Like, but I've been having dreams like crazy in this house.
Porno dreams? Porno dreams? You having porno dreams?
No,
Sticky
no.
Sex dreams?
Sticky
You
ones?
still get those in your 60s or no?
I'm not in my 60s. Listen,
Close
so
enough.
I wake up one morning and I had this dream and I go to work and I'm like, what? Because I'm excited that I'm remembering my dreams. And this is a little weird, but it wasn't, I promise you, I swear to God.
How can you tell Lachlan's
sexual.
bored? He's excited that he can remember his dreams.
Doesn't take a lot to
Dude,
get you
years,
happy,
years. I don't remember them. And people always talk about their dreams. I can't do that. I'm like, I sleep so solid that I can't remember my dream. So anyway, I wake up in the morning and I head into work and I had a dream about somebody I used to work with. So
Were they naked?
I sit down and I was going to send this woman an email saying, hey, I had this really weird dream. And the thing is, the dream was that she was watching me shower. And I literally started typing it. I had her name in the...
Who was watching you shower?
This lady?
This woman
Just
that I
some-
used to work with.
In your
Was she offering
And I'm not
commentary?
attracted to her.
You
I don't
naked?
have any sexual thoughts about. I was in the shower and she was standing a
Were you nude?
ways back, but I'm totally naked, and I was
Who showers in
uncomfortable.
their clothes?
I was
You asked the
uncomfortable
question
about
first.
the fact that she was watching me shower, and I almost sent that email. I'm like, tick, 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 and then I'm like, that's gonna seem weird at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Probably shouldn't say that. Yeah.
Had a crazy dream about you.
I'm like, I better.
You were
And
watching
then
me
I'm
shower.
very carefully trying to delete the email and not hit the end button because I already had her name typed in. And in the subject line, it was, I had a dream about you last night. I'm like, wow, what made me think that was a good idea to send that email?
No one knows.
If you
No one knows.
CC'd your wife, it would have been fine. You could have CC'd your wife and be like, listen, I got to get this out. I need to talk to you about this dream I had. Did
Yeah.
you see me nude in my shower?
It's a good question to ask your wife.
Anyway, kind of a weird sidebar. I apologize.
No,
but it
no,
got me
I'm
thinking when
happy,
you were talking about dreams.
I'm
That
happy you
was
brought it
literally
up.
about a month ago.
I was no, dreaming's important, dude. You got to dream. I dream like every night. Every night.
Do you
Melatonin,
remember
dope.
them?
All of them. Every night I dream.
Really? See,
Last night I had a dream that I was
never do.
flying in a Ford Mustang. Flying. And I'm like, flying cars look like Ford Mustangs. And my dad was in the passenger seat and he's like, would you like some almonds? And I'm like, I guess so. So we had almonds and we were driving around in a flying Mustang. That was last
Don't they
night.
say
That was last
people
night's
that,
dream.
don't they say people that use cannabis don't usually dream? Isn't that a
Yeah.
thing?
Works the opposite with me. I have these
Really?
crazy dreams. Yeah, dude. I had one time I had a dream that I was a proctologist, and I was like, I don't remember. And I remember thinking in my dream, I'm like, I didn't study for this, and they're like, don't worry about it. We're short proctologists. I'm like, guys, you don't want me in here, and they're like,
All
no,
you
we
need is
do.
a pair of gloves.
You got to get to Lachlan's
Get in here,
shower
team.
immediately.
Yeah. Speaking of dreams, thought I was dreaming when I read this today. Did you guys see the news about cold fusion? Hit the news? Did you see this?
What happened?
Yeah. Yeah. Look at this thing. Boys, look at this. That's your new furnace.
Oh, it looks good.
Where is that?
Yeah.
Where is that?
Yeah,
Is
that's somewhere in the United States of America. And here's what's it's incredible. It's incredible news. They announced it yesterday. They've reached nuclear cold fusion. That's the wrong one. Let's get to the actual deals. Most fusion research is focused on different approach known as magnetic confinement fusion, which the hydrogen fuel is. This is going to be a shock to you guys. I'm not a big cold fusion expert. Placed by power magnets and heated to extreme temperatures. So the
Disappointed.
atomic nuclei fuse. I don't know what that means. Once again, I am not a nuclear fusion expert. Historically, they said this has been done with publicly funded money, but now people are flooding the zone with private money because they know that cold fusion is coming up. Now, here's the deal with cold fusion. Apparently, the U.S. government made the breakthrough pursuit of limitless zero carbon power by achieving net energy gain in a fusion reaction for the first time, according to people with knowledge of the results. Physicists have been trying since the 50s to harness fusion reaction that powers the sun. Same thing. I don't know if you guys have watched any ancient television shows where they taught, or science shows, or like, I was watching Our Universe with Morgan Freeman the other day. Like, fuck, the sun's really hot. I'm like, wow, it sure is. But it's like 150 million degrees. It's like what they've created is heat in a bowl or in a machine that is as hot as the sun. It can use a lot, like a cup of water, to power a home for 500 fucking years. They did it, dude. They did it. They did it. Here's what it looks like on a piece of paper. I don't know what I'm looking at, but it looks really impressive. It looks incredible.
When they show up at your door with that piece of paper and try and get you signed a new contract, don't sign it yet, okay? They're not ready.
Someone comes up and they're like, cold fusion, dude. This is the thing. Don't sign it. But apparently now, I'll give you the Coles notes because I did some reading on this. Again, not a nuclear fusion expert by any stretch. I'm out of my depth here. I'm close to understanding nuclear physics, but not all the way. Like I got a couple more courses. So here's the deal. They put this particle or these particles, some water in this little container. In the container, they shoot 192 lasers. They superheat it to 150 million degrees, and the particles separate, and they shake like fucking crazy, just like a nuclear reactor would with nuclear particles.
Yeah.
And that lasts for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Now, it's going to be a while before you get one of these cold fusion reactors, nuclear reactor in your house. Because this is how big it is. No word of a lie. It is the biggest fucking thing you've ever seen in your life. It's the size of a fucking warehouse. And they're like, how are we going to get that into a furnace room? That's the problem.
No, but
so that's what they're working on next.
Can they not take that power that they're producing from that site and transfer it to some usable source for energy for us?
No, they can't. They can't yet. They said in the mid 2030s they might be able to have a commercial scale to the point where it's like, oh, we figured out how to get that massive thing. It's like the first computer in the world was like an entire floor of an office building. Remember that? And it could only do simple math. Same thing. Big breakthrough. This is a big moment. Clean energy.
Guys in Ontario, you have a nuclear power plant.
Yeah,
several.
We do.
Yes.
Yeah,
Brad, is it? What is it?
Bruce Power Plant, Pickering Power
Bruce
Plant.
Power.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So my daughter's boyfriend just got a job at Bruce.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
One of my guys is one of the technical guys out there. It's they make millions of dollars.
Do you know what he's going to hope? You know what he needs to hope for? That cold fusion doesn't catch on if he wants to keep his job, because it's going to replace nuclear fusion. It's going to replace cold fusion. It's going to replace real nuclear power plants.
Is the carbon, like pulling the carbon out of the air?
Yeah,
they got a plant in Denmark, and like what I forget what that's called. That process.
It's a carbon absorption,
carbon capture.
Carbon capture. He wants to get into
yeah.
carbon capture. That's because he was working up in Fort Mac in the oil sands, and now he's in January or February he's going to be transferring to Ontario full time. So
I think the push for this cold fusion is actually timely, because we're starting to look at them kind of wondering, what are we going to do with these power plants that aren't being used anymore? It's not like nuclear waste it's not the big problem that everybody thinks it is. Like, they do have plans to get rid of spent fuel rods and all that, but how are they going to replace them? Are we going to replace them with nuclear again, or can we go with something like this cold fusion? So by the time those plants die out, hopefully these guys will have that figured out. They'll call Dean with his expertise on cold fusion, and
there is a lot less waste
we can
than people think now with the current technology revolving around nuclear power.
Yeah, it's wild.
And it's quite a bit safer than it was in the past, obviously.
Yeah. Well, it's always been safe, right? Risk. Yeah, it's always been safe. It's just a matter of how it was operated. Like, if you're thinking about Chernobyl and that, it's always been human error.
Well, Japan,
it's never been Japan,
tsunami,
Fukushima,
Fukushima, yeah. So
I'm excited.
This is nothing but good news. Yeah,
for sure.
Dude, I thought you would love that news, because you're like a big time recycler. You love the environment. You feel sorry for Mother Nature from time to time. You'll come on the show and go,
you know what?
I can't believe people don't fucking recycle. And then you're like, I started a recycling thing at work. And what really pisses me off is that I can't use the bike lanes in my scooter anymore because I needed a fucking truck, and I got rid of the truck, and now I got a scooter, and I got to ride on the bike lanes, and I can't bring my recycling to work. Sorry, bike lanes.
Listen, we censor bike lane now.
I thought you would appreciate it, because you're very, very conscious of the environment, and this is clean energy.
I'm at some point in the next 3-4 months, I'm reaching out to the Green Party guys, and I'm going to have a sit down. We're going to go for coffee, and I'm going to talk about what I can do to help promote the Green Party in Alberta.
As you should.
Sounds like something you would do.
Couple things totally want to get to.
I'm totally getting that scooter that goes 95 kilometers an hour. By the way,
you talked about it. You have
people have been sending me videos.
Do you know what they have?
Showed my wife
Dean,
one
in
video of this
Edmonton
woman
that we
doing
don't.
95 kilometers an hour.
No.
They have those green things. Remember those green scooter things that I saw and I was like blown away because we don't have them here. The Uber, those
They're
Uber
everywhere.
scooters. They have these Uber scooters that you use your Uber account to unlock this scooter that's parked in like a
Lime.
Lime. That's what it's called. Lime.
There's like 3 of them.
And you can take your Uber account, unlock it, and use it.
Brilliant.
And I wanted to. They wouldn't let me though because they thought it would probably hurt myself and not make it home. But
you were hammered when you tried to get one. I remember because you called me.
I have not been on one of those things sober to the point where we actually. Every time we get them, we're always downtown. We're drinking. We're on a patio.
That's what I
and then
tried.
Somebody goes, "It's a good idea. Let's do this." And then we'd race around the neighborhood on them.
Oh yeah,
and
smart.
I remember, just shit tanked on a fucking scooter downtown Edmonton, flying around, jumping sidewalks.
I wanted to do it so bad, and
we called the cops because. I'm like,
on
can
yourselves?
you get a DUI? You know how everybody has a story about a DUI? Like, my grandfather got a DUI on his riding lawnmower, right? Like, there's always that story, right? And I'm like, somebody's got to be able to tell us whether or not you can get an impaired driving charge on a scooter. So we called the Edmonton Police Service, and we got somebody on the line, and we asked them whether or not you can get a drinking and driving charge if you're pulled over drunk on one of those scooters. And they're like, no, you can get a intoxicated in public ticket, but you can't get a DUI because you don't need a driver's license to drive a scooter. Like Jimmy can get one. He's never had a driver's license.
Well, do you not see these? I call them.
You're allowed
here,
to drink and
here.
drive
I call
on those scooters.
e-bikes. Oh yeah, here I call e-bikes DUI-cycles.
Yes.
Right. Reason why I call them DUI-cycles, and it's always the same cat on one in February with like 2 feet of snow, right? And he's got a case of Lucky on the back of the DUI-cycle, and he's got it like kitted up like it's a fucking Harley Davidson, where it doesn't make any noise, and you're like, dude, I know why you have to drive that. It's because you lost your license. So we have stats out here in Ontario, literally hundreds of old fat guys and ladies with heaters hanging out of their mouth, no teeth, fucking ripping the no frills and stopping at the beer store on the way by in December, fucking snow everywhere. And my son, who was like a couple of years ago, he's like, Dad, is that an old man driving a motorcycle in the middle of January? And I go, nope, that is an old man on a DUI-cycle who lost his license for drinking and driving. And so he gets to ride that. He goes, is it illegal to ride those when you're wasted though? Or like, I go, not at all. And he goes, really? And I go, yeah. He goes, great life hack. I go, no, son, it is not a great life hack. Don't drink and drive so you can ride in a closed vehicle in the winter instead of beating down Highway 7 on a fucking DUI-cycle. Dude, everybody drives those things. Apparently, you can't even buy one unless you've lost your license.
That's not true.
What?
It's not true.
That's not true. No, I made that part up. I'm pretty sure.
I am so excited about my potential scooter purchase. I'm waiting until I keep looking on Amazon to see if they go down in price. I'm buying them.
Last thing I want to get to before we leave.
Okay.
Little feature called Who You Got. Okay. Now you got to pick. Who you got. You got to pick. Now, who you got here? It's a zookeeper with a stick or an ostrich. Who you taking? There's going to be a fight. They're going to go at it. Who you taking? Zookeeper with a twig or a massive ostrich?
Ostrich.
Ostrich. Yeah,
ostrich.
Yeah, for sure.
They go for the face. They go for the face.
Dude, what happens next?
Right for the nose. He goes right for the nose.
He goes right in. Oh, yeah. Does he get the stick? Get out of here. Get out of here. Here's my stick. Get out of here. I'll poke you with a stick. And then the ostrich is like, fuck you. You're just a dumb human. Here I come. Shit. Look at this.
Yeah,
and
get him.
Now it's on. Now it's on.
Screaming. He dropped the stick. He just dropped the stick and fucking ran. Oh my God.
The only one left standing is the ostrich. Good call. The ostrich won. That was it. That was
Good
the
for
very
you.
first one you got.
Very nice.
Ostrich over the human. Let's watch that one more time. Look, he's so confident with the stick, isn't he? Gets in there and he's like, no one's going to hurt me. I got the stick. The ostrich is like, you do have a stick. Wait. Oh. Let me see that stick.
Let me show you what I got.
This
and then he takes a minute. He takes a minute.
Why do I always cheer for the animal?
All right.
Always
and the ostrich is like, you know what? Fuck you and your stick. He comes for him right here.
I wish there was another camera.
In the background that are so funny. He's getting a little ostrich dick too there, I think.
Yeah. Right there.
And the winner is the ostrich. Yeah, not bad. That was good. That was
Fantastic.
No shortage of humans being assholes on Twitter to each other or animals, so we'll do that again tomorrow. Try and make it a daily feature. Thanks for doing this, boys. It. Great to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Good to have you. Locke,
it's
let's
good
work
to be
on
had.
this. Let's work on this tomorrow, right? Not doing the old guys standing down at a Tim Hortons on a Saturday with his old guy friend tweets. Try and do that this week. No more complaining about your heating bill. Can you like lanes, maybe?
$700 for a week. $771. It was supposed to be my final bill.
You
bought
door-to-door heating. Your fault. Do you buy meat door-to-door? No.
Yes, I have.
Oh. Well, I stand corrected. You
saved hundreds of dollars.
I don't think you do, actually.
They just tell you for like $20.
Yeah.
That's not true.
It was frozen, too.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they came out of a deer carcass from the side of the road.
Yeah. That's right.
I am not against roadkill. I'm from Yak.
That's true. Lachlan Cross, 957cruisefm.ca. Listen every single weekday morning. He's the host of The Locker Room. It's the morning show, 957cruisefm.ca.
Get your holiday candles. Locker Room holiday candles for the food bank.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to order mine.
Okay.
But I'm not ordering Jimmy's because they smell like his apartment. And you said
it comes with a Jimmy one, but it's in a sealed container. So just don't take it out of the seal.
All right.
It smells like flaming garbage. It's good.
Yeah. That is Ryan Lindley from The Lynn's Report at Ryan Lindley on Twitter. Follow him at The Lynn's Report anywhere you get your fine podcast. See you boys tomorrow. Good one today. That was fun.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Talk to you soon. No, you're very welcome. Great to see you too. All of you who were here, thank you. Thank you, Paul, Kathleen, Christopher, Elaine, Mel, Michelle, Saucy Seawitch, Leanne, Cheech, Christopher, Corrine, Rick, PJ, not Damien, Stacy. Can't get to y'all, but I want to thank y'all for being here. Really appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow, right here on this very program. All right. See you guys later. Don't forget, say hi and thank you to our friends at kivlaw.ca. If you're looking for legal help, these guys got you covered. The best defense attorneys in Southern Ontario, kivlaw.ca. Robert at kivlaw.ca. Send him an email. He's going to hook you up with a solution for your legal issue, and he's going to make sure that you maintain that freedom during the entire process of learning how the legal system works. You need a good defense attorney. You need a good hand-holding lawyer to walk you through the legal process. And if you're up against it and you got out time and you're like, I need someone, you need this guy, Robert at kivlaw.ca. Kivlaw Defense Lawyers. Southern Ontario's best. Hit them up today. Also, thanks to our friends at Cantork. That's right. We had Colin on last week. What does Cantork do? Nothing but the best assembly tools on the planet. They make rugged, hard-working, beautiful torque wrenches. Canada's leading industrial tool experts. They offer you all the best in sales, service, rentals, calibration, maintenance, custom fabrication, industrial torque tool solutions. No matter the scale of your bolting project, they've got you covered. All you do is go to cantork.com for more information. Colin will get back to you ASAP because he's good like that. Industrial applications, loosening, tightening, anything to do with that, they make it all. They rent it all. And they come up with solutions, just the solutions people, cantork.com. Speaking of solutions, do you need some Christmas solutions? I think you do. How about shopping at Ed's Fine Imports? Not only a massive selection of clothing for men and boys, massive, huge online store, easy to shop, 15% off when you give him your email address. And if you're really lucky, and if you act now, he's going to send you a free pair of underwear with the promo code GITCH3. GITCH, the number 3, your promo code. Buy 3 or more luxury branded underwear. He'll send you the 4th for free. Super deal. Anything for free is great. If it's free, it's for me. That's my life motto. And you come on a radio, everything's free. So keep it free for yourself and order a pair of underwear. Plus, they're the best underwear on the planet. I swear to God. You'll never go back. You will never buy another pair of underwear again. Boxer briefs, pouch in the front, can't miss. edsfineimports.com. Get3 as your promo code. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow, 3 or 4 o'clock. I think we're 4 o'clock again tomorrow. I believe we are, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, we are at 4 o'clock tomorrow. See you at 4. Have a great day. Bye.